Welcome to Subramani. Understanding risk is very important, and it is only time which teaches you how to handle risk. So, for example, if two young boys, Mr. Sachin Tendulkar and Mr. Vinod Kambli, had come to me when they started their career, which means about 25 years ago or 20, 30 years ago, I would have more or less given the same investment plan for both of them, and I would have been completely wrong in one and completely right in the other. So let us say, for example, they came to me and I said, you have to invest the first few crores in equity, because that will put you on the wealth creation process. It would have done very well for Sachin Tendulkar, because he would have gone on to earn more and more money, and therefore his equity would have compounded. It wouldn't have worked in case of Vinod Kambli, because he would have withdrawn from equity at a completely wrong time because he needed money. So you need to understand investing risk, and when today, after seeing their experience, I would think when a sports person or a film star comes to me for investing and is very young or she is very young and they just started, I would put a lot of money into debt schemes, maybe government bonds of 30-40 years, which is very tax inefficient but gives solidity, right, to the portfolio, because you do not know how much they are going to earn. So if let's say a Deepika Padukone or Anushka Sharma had come to me and had very conservatively put a lot of money into debt, let's say very conservatively, I put 5 crores into debt or 7.5 crores into debt. It would have looked like too much money to be being put into debt, but afterwards, when they are very successful and they start earning 10-15 crores per movie, this would have looked very piddly. So it wouldn't have really mattered that so much money is in debt. But if they had not succeeded so well and they had earned less, at least that much money would never be squandered. It would be locked in for say 25-30 years, and that would create enough return, right, to at least to maintain a decent standard of living, if not a great extravagant standard of living. I wouldn't say extravagant, it's a wrong word. To maintain their standard of living, right? So they need that kind of cash flow. They need personal bodyguards, drivers, cars, beautician, dietitian, exercise, gym, right? Then they have those kind of expenses. So you need cash flow to pay for all those kind of expenses. So and that is what would have happened. Now, in retrospect, I would have thought I would have been far more conservative with both, with Sachin and Vinod Kambli. And same thing would have happened even with Rishabh Pant. Told Rishabh Pant, look, your career has got its ups and downs. You are surely going to play Test cricket, but I'm not very sure whether you're going to play T20 for India. But maybe you will definitely play T20 for some IPL franchisee. So it's not as though you won't earn money. So I would have still put money very conservatively in today's world, because people think IPL is great amount of money. Well, go back and name players who played for IPL in 2011 and you will not be able to. You will remember the very famous ones, but you will not be able to remember all of them. So many people come and fade away. So you need to control the money that is being earned and make sure that it is invested very sensibly. Very sensibly means, to start with, you will need to create a very solid debt portfolio, and I may go for a completely gilt portfolio or a gilt fund portfolio, floating rate, right? I would build that solid base and then start building the equity portfolio. This is completely contrary to what people would think. Oh, these guys are earning so well, so we should create an equity portfolio. Perfectly right, but please understand that their incomes are not very clear about how much it will be. So it could vary between say 8 crores to 12 crores or 15 crores. Now that's not a small amount of money in any part of the country or any part of the world. It's not $1 million is not a small amount of money. But what happens for cricketers, film stars, is you do not know how frequently you will get it. So why did I mention Rishabh Pant? Because Rishabh Pant took an amazing punt of driving badly. I don't know the details of the accident, but I know he was driving, he lost control and he had an accident and he's laid up in bed. Now, what is the worst thing that can happen to a sportsman? Apart from death, of course, death is the worst thing that can happen to any youngster, but largely to a sportsman, what are the other bad things that can happen? You could have busted his spine, you could have busted his hip. Any of those things then never come back to the original form, so it would take time to heal. Now Rishabh is young, he's 25, maybe 25, 26, so it will heal, but it will still take time depending on the severity of the accident. So what is important when you are that young and you are in sports or you are in acting is to hire a very good driver. If will it cost you 60,000-70,000 per month? Yes, and you may have to have two drivers. You don't want one driver to be sleepy, so maybe you you sit in the back seat, you wear your seat belt, you do not take risk. You may still have an accident, right? Something could happen. You're sitting in your car and a truck comes and crushes you. Yes, it can happen, but you don't take risk. I love what Andre Agassi, who married Steffi Graf, said. Both Steffi and I love skiing, but we would not take part in any skiing during our tennis careers. It's very important because skiing accidents can be very, very cruel, right? It could take its toll, could break your spine, break your hip, break your leg, and completely derail your profession. You cannot afford to take, none of us can afford to take that kind of risk with our physical self, especially for those people for whom the body is very important, right? So if you are a cricketer, if you are a film star, if you are cricketer, I mean sports person, right? You are a football player, you are a badminton player, tennis player, doesn't matter. You have to take care of your body, you have to take care of your mind. So making sure that you're mentally fit, physically fit, you're in a good state of mind, so that you are able to play the game, that's all important. So taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, taking care of your body is very important for anybody, and especially more so for sports people. So what could Rishabh Pant have done differently? He had a good vehicle. Let us assume he had a very nice solid vehicle. He should have hired a driver. He should still be doing that and not be driving it himself, not driving rashly. In fact, there's one video clip saying gaadi tej mat chalana. Somebody, I think Pandya or somebody is giving him that advice, and he is laughing it. Typically young blood, so rush of blood, so you driving, you lost control, you could lose your complete career, right? You still have to pay EMI for that Mercedes that you bought. So just a note on what people should do to manage their own risk. Like Vinod Kambli did not know that his career will ever end so abruptly. For those who do not know, I think he broke his leg and he retired at the age of 23. Also, he could not handle the bouncers. Did he need mental support? Did he need physical support? Did he need financial support? Did he need any of those things? I'm not even getting into it. But that is what happened to his career, and he had not saved enough, so he's got into all kinds of financial mess. You cannot do that, right? You're earning very well, but you do not know how long you will earn. So that uncertainty of timing of cash flow and whether at all is very important while especially in a career which